When should you use arrays over structs? Here we are looping over an array of structs, and for every iteration we're going to check whether we need to update the block. Now if we need to update every block, this is fine. But if we look at the array, we can see that we have here CPU, GPU. Okay, both of them will need to update every 1 second, but for other components, we're actually not updating them that often. So most of the time, we're actually not going to need to update the block. The problem with that is we're always going to access this struct because we need to check if we need to update or not. And if the struct is large, let's say that this struct is 64 bytes. Every time we're accessing the member, the CPU will need to load 64 bytes into cache. If we have a 64 byte cache line, we're going to have a cache miss in every iteration. We're paying for loading the whole struct, even though we only need to access one member, at least in the case where we don't need to update. So is there a better way of doing this? Is there a way to only load this member instead of loading the whole struct in every iteration? This is where you'd want an array. If you put the interval outside the struct and have it as an array, and then access it like this, it's going to load the interval array into cache. Let's say that it fits into a cache line, so we pay for a cache miss in the first iteration, but in the next iterations we'll have cache hits since it's loaded into cache. It is only when we need to actually update the block that we pay for loading the struct into cache. The difference here is we are putting the intervals together, by which we avoid potentially loading unused data. So instead of having a cache miss for every iteration, we only have a single cache miss for loading the interval array, only loading things when we need them.